Kia ora all, this is a quick edit from an after mahi dive the other day. So summer's coming out, so the south coast is looking good. I thought I'd just narrate a bit and say a few things about the dive for others to learn from. So my target today, I thought it would be cool to get a couple crays on board and definitely just shoot a decent amount of butters to have a good few feeds and koha a few fish to some friends and whānau. So as with any cray driving, you've just got to look in cracks and under rocks, and it gets pretty boring until you actually find some bugs and then you get excited again. So here I was just chilling. Red Rocks is an awesome spot for beginners because even though you're far out, as you can see I only drop a couple of meters, spot a fish from the surface and can plug a decent feed of butters. There was quite a surge around, and this is where the float boat comes in handy. So get all your kai straight away into the float boat out of the water. There's no weight towing it around or anything, and it makes life pretty easy. This is what I love about spearfishing in this clip, is there's plenty of fish around, a few butters around. You obviously selective with what you do, so you can eye them up. You know what ones are juvies or small, you know what one's illegal or not, and you just pick whatever one you want. Nice straight arm and plug. Again, I'm in about 1 to 2 meters of water above the structure, so pretty simple. Here I just shot a butterfish and I just did a quick reload, so I've still got a butterfish on my gun line, and I've just pulled up one band so I could quickly drop down without wasting time and shoot another one, but they all moved away. But just an easy thing you can do if you quickly come across a good school of fish. Here I'm just breathing up after, like I said, countless rocks and cracks. Finally found a cray and the surge just pushed me around, so I'm trying to keep my eye on the prize. I did gun drop so I can follow my gun, and then drop down, but I actually make a complete rookie mistake here. I thought a decent grab, and as I was just checking to make sure it wasn't in berry, butterfingers, and it was gone skis apart from its front claw. So I was pretty gutted with that piss poor effort, more so that I injured it or took its claw with me and it didn't come home for a kai, so no one wins. Instead of boosting straight back down and looking for it, I just try to look from the surface, make sure I have a quick breathe up, and then decide to have another look down in the cracks to see if it's quickly just sitting on the surface anywhere. So I was going to boost straight down after it, but again, it's not worth a shallow water blackout just for a crayfish. So I retraced my steps, look in some cracks, where it was, where it could have been, where it might have gone, but no luck. So never mind, a bit grumpy with myself, a bit gutted because I was keen for a bug, but you win crayfish. Boom. Now here's just a quick clip of a reload. So making sure your bands are on the top, I run two 14mm bands so they're nice and easy to pull back. Shooting line on top of the spear, sliding it in, use your hand to guide it in until it clips. Shooting line around the front and then around the mechanism. For me, I have different colour bands, so I know what one to load first. Blue first, and then red is dead. This is my cue. Then you're good to go. Here's Pete doing a drop, and all I want to highlight here is his snorkel. So we've both got bright coloured snorkels, and it makes it way easier when you're watching each other do drops, because you can see that for a lot longer and a lot clearer. And also when you're looking across the water trying to find someone, a bright snorkel sticks out. A massive school of kahawai came in on me, and instead of trying to follow them and chase one, I've done that before and just been smoked by them. I just held my gun straight and waited for one to swim past. It was a terrible shot in the tail, but again, good enough to hold it. As always, while you're watching and dealing with your fish, I was watching a lot of big school of massive kahawai just swimming underneath me, which I would have loved to shoot, but I've got this little fella instead. So dispatch him and then bleed him out, which is pretty important to do with kahawai if you plan on eating it, to look after the meat quality. It is straight in the tail. Average shot, but good enough. Here I started doing a few drops on some sand because I saw a cod from the surface. Then Butterfish jumped out at me, so might as well take that. It was about 7 or 8 meters hazy viz on the day we went out. So that at the bottom there is about 8 or 9 meters, so you never complain with that in Wellington. Again, dropping down, hesitating should I take it or not. Make my shot, all good, and then the fish boosts and gets tangled up in some weed. So instead of stressing, putting heaps of pressure on my gun, I'm trying to tug it out initially. I just release it to my float line and just swim to the surface, and then play some angles and get my spear out from and the fish from the weed from the top. Then I'm not stressed, I'm not gonna wreck my gun, and I don't need to worry about my breath hold. So you always want to icky your fish as soon as you can, but I decided not to actually gut my fish in the water during this dive, because even without gutting my fish there was huge schools of wrasse and crap following me around, and I couldn't be bothered with that. Here I drop onto a cod and throw up an air ball. Pretty gutted, it looked like a decent size, I don't know why I missed. So reload, breathe up, pop back down in the same spot hoping it's there. And it's just swimming mid-water, nice and chilled for me. Pretty annoying that the GoPro went flat after this, because that's when all the bigger butters came out, and we started getting onto some crays, and I got my PB Cray, which would have made a cool clip, but never mind, wasted too much battery and stuff looking for butterfish and in cracks and under holes for that one cray. But float boat loaded, life's good, living the dream, kia ora tangaroa.